working style in both industries, the way they function?
I mean, the difference is that Hollywood has more money, so bigger budgets. And Bollywood, the budgets are comparatively smaller. So that's the only difference I see. Otherwise, Hollywood can afford bigger action sequences because of bigger budgets. Whereas we in Bollywood are still limited about those things. But other than that, not really.
Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting insight. Talk about Malika Sherawat. How can we not talk about murder? Are we all familiar with the movie Murder? Yes! So it is a cult classic, something that the Indian audience hadn't seen at the time. So I'm sure there must have been a lot of fun moments and memories on set. So can you share any fun moments that you...
I'm glad you asked the question and how times change. Today everyone's celebrating murder and applauding me for murder. But let me tell you, when murder released, bahut joote pade the. It was not easy because nobody had, in Bollywood there is such a strong conduct of what an actress is permitted to say, what can she do and what not do. And I broke all the rules. I kissed on screen, I wore a bikini, I had nothing to lose, I'd already run away from home. So Mahesh Bhatt encouraged me, but at that time there were effigies burnt in my name and it was tough.
But you kept going, and I mentioned in your introduction that you were undeniably ahead of your time.
Thank
you. There is an interesting story behind it. And
don't believe all the stories. Okay. Internet is full of gossip.
Well, my next question might fall flat, but I will risk it. So I heard that it's different than the name that you were given at birth. Let's see that in the audience, if anyone knows, it's a tricky question, if anyone knows what was her real name. Yes, sir.
अरे वाह, आप तो genuine fan हैं मेरे.
Wow!
You're a genuine fan. Thank you.
We have true fans of Malika Sherawat here in Dallas, for sure. So what's the story behind it?
I just liked the way Malika sound. My producers liked me. Mahesh Bhatt Sahab, he said, "Thoda glamorous naam hona chahiye hamari heroine ka."
With the audience on how you maintain yourself and your healthy lifestyle.
I think the biggest tip is sleeping early. I love to sleep early. I'm in bed. Hey, don't make that face. Everybody makes that face. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock, which I love. I'm not a late night person. And of course, no alcohol, no smoking. All these adds up.
Discipline.
Sleeping early is the key.
I also heard in a recent interview you said you're interesting instances of male attention. Anyone that particularly sticks out?
I think President Barack Obama does.
Ah!
He paid me a lot of attention, extra attention.
Well, normal लोगों की तो बातें नहीं होती, हम इसी के बराक ओबामा की बात हो रही है.
I had the good fortune of meeting him a few times, and whenever I met him, he was just always paying extra attention to me.
Oh, amazing. Any specific conversation that you remember during that time? I mean, you are one of the very few celebrities worldwide, not just Indian, but on a global scale, who have actually met the President of the United States, Barack Obama. So do you have any memorable conversation you had with him at the time?
We did talk. He was very interested at the time in India and Indian culture. And he really said that it was his vision, that he really wanted to see Indian culture represented more and more on American soil. He believes a lot in the family values of the Indian culture.
That's something you saw in this Asia North America. We have a lot of young women and girls in the audience. And throughout your interviews, you've always talked about self-love. You've always come across as someone who's just very happy and secure in herself. So what message do you have or advice do you have for those young girls and women in our audience?
I feel that the current beauty culture is extremely toxic to women. Like from very, very young age, people in the house, they start commenting on whether you have put on a little weight and you're skinny or you're pretty or you're not pretty or you have a big nose, and they don't realize that negative effect on a young girl's psyche. So I think it really has to start from your families to be more supportive and not to give in to these toxic beauty things that you have to get Botox, you have to get this. No, you have to get nothing. You're perfect the way God made you.
Awesome. Did we hear that, family? Any round of applause.
From Haryana, what chances did I have? Haryana is not very kind to its women. I grew up in a very traditional, very conservative household. So I've achieved and gotten so much from life. I mean, what is there not to be happy about? Just the fact that we're all here, we are healthy, we are young, we are successful. There's so much to be grateful for. And I live my life in gratitude.
That's amazing. Amazing. Can we have a big round of applause for that? Thank you so much.